Hello peoples, my name is Redstone905, back at it again in Tekkit Classic Reloaded. As I said I would, I did a bit of testing and experimenting off camera, as I normally do. So yeah, I went exploring, I went and got some stuff from the desert, which I will be needing today, probably will be needing today, and I built this box right here that I'm going to be using for an ore processing plant, because currently the way I'm getting ores is by getting my macerator, and then I'm basically taking that, grinding it down, and then putting it into my electric smelter, and it'll smelt it from there. But what I actually want to do is get into a longer process of washing the ore, and then spitting it out into like a dust, and then smelting it. It's a decently lengthy process that's going to take a bit more than just one ejector upgrade into another machine. I also experimented with pipes from Buildcraft, because yeah, that's one of the things I need to actually do, because currently I'm just dumping everything into a chest. That is perfectly fine, and it works most of the time, but if I want to actually get into some kind of automated process of getting ores and crushing them down and then washing them automatically, I'm going to need some kind of pipe system to be able to move things around. Now, you may be thinking, why don't I just extract the things directly from the chest? Well, you can, but as far as I can tell, that requires an item from Buildcraft called the Pipe Pulsar. I'm not exactly how to say it, but essentially what it does, it makes items come out of the pipe. It doesn't look too complicated to make, but it's just going to take an assembly table. We can take a look at this real quick after I get a quick sleep. So yeah, we can take a quick look at it, because I'm actually not entirely sure how to do that. But I have a few other things bookmarked here, getting a little off track. I got a hang glider, because if you know, the way I've been currently getting around while I'm playing this is just using my jetpack, which takes a lot of power. Granted, I have this solar helmet, so it'll just recharge passively over time during the day. But when it comes to forward and backward, like moving forward and backward, it's really slow with the jetpack. So I went and got killed a few cows and got a few sticks in between the episode. My voice. I went and got a few sticks and killed some cows in between the episode, and I got the materials this day for a hang glider from Open Blocks. Yep, it's just a little thing here. It stays in your hotbar. Yeah, essentially what I can do is I can rock it up and click, and boom, it'll apply the hang glider, and I can just glide around. If I hit control, I think I'll go faster. Yep. Essentially, it'll give me a better way of flying around than the way I was currently doing it. So yeah, that's about all I did. I added a new mod to the mod pack. The little item in my hand is called a crafting calculator from Just Enough Calculation. It has two modes. One is a math calculator. It's pretty standard of a calculator. You know, you can do basic calculator things. It has a little description here. And if you shift and right click it, it'll get you to a crafting calculator. You could take items and fill them in via JEI. And for example, the ore washing plant, which I do want to see if I can craft in today's episode, you click on the item, and then you go through the step of the process, like how you make plates, and then all this other stuff after. So yeah, essentially it basically breaks things down to the bare minimum. The forge, it says I need 35 forge hammers and 19 cutters. That's just because of how it fills in from JEI. I don't need 35 of them, I just need the one, but I use it 35 times, which I probably am going to need a new one. But yeah, I do have some spots here that are for some more IC2 machines that I do want to put down, because that could be, they're going to be useful to have in the base here. Let me put this stuff in my inventory there. I got a bit of open hand space, but yeah, let me clear this stuff out. I also want to make an elevator. This base has no stairs, so I'm going to, I don't know, get this block here, and I know it's a little off, but I was thinking of putting like, I don't know, 4 of them in or something like that, because I want a little bit of planning ahead. I want my applied energistic stuff to be straight down the middle. That's why I made this in this kind of circular-ish design, is so I could have my applied energistics right down the middle, so wherever I am on the floor, I can always just head to the center and grab it instead of needing a wireless thing. But I will make the wireless one, if there even is one in this pack. Wireless? Yeah, there is. So, yeah. Yeah. I'll have to. But that's for a later thing. Right now, let's craft the elevator here. Let's grab the materials and let's get 2 elevators here. All right, there we go. And essentially, what you do is you stand on it and you hit jump, and it'll basically teleport you up a block, and then you hit shift and it'll go down. You know. Because currently, the way I'm getting up to this floor is just rocketing with my jetpack, but I'm not always going to be able to do that, especially when I continue adding more floors to the building. So having this is going to be really useful to be able to get up and down. Let me put this stuff in here, I suppose. I'll sort that out later. But yeah, I got some pipe materials in my bag here. Grab all that stuff. All that stuff. Alright. Yep. And essentially, I'm just going to need some pipes, which is just glass and desired material surrounding it. It's not a complicated recipe, but they all have different uses and functionalities that I am going to look at here. So yeah, let's head over to our quarry over here. And I am looking at seeing if I can get more than 1 quarry running at a time, because currently, the way I'm powering my quarry, and this is a thing for later, I'm using coal, which, I mean, it isn't a bad way of powering it, but I am not mining enough coal in return to be able to power it by itself, so I'm kind of losing gain on it. With mods like Project E, I can transmute the cobblestone that I have into coal, but I don't really want to do that because that's basically me just saying, oh yeah, I have plenty of stuff, even though I might want the cobblestone at some point, and if I keep converting it all to regular coal, then it's not going to be able to be used in its own usable form. So yeah, I made this little access tunnel here. Yep. And let's get this in here. I'm going to make it go back. And then, I don't know, here, I suppose. Yep. Now let's get a diamond pipe, which it has these colored ends on it, which basically give you a filter for each side. You can attach, let's get the clay pipe here, if I don't throw it on the floor. Yep. So, yeah, essentially I can take things out of it, out of the chest. Out of the pipe, I mean. Yep, and put them into chests. If I grab my chest here. If I keep throwing things on the floor, that's not very nice. So, yeah. I would place a chest in the middle here, but it has to be a trap chest, or I could upgrade these to iron chests. But, yeah. Essentially, it allows you to take items. You can either drag them from JEI. I'd have to turn on cheat mode to do that, though. Or you can just take something from your inventory, like, which one is the top one? The white one is the top? Put cobblestone in that one, and when this thing will mine, it'll take the cobblestone that it mines and puts it in that top slot up there. So yeah, let me grab the ores and stuff like that. Yep, and let me get all these filters set up, and I'll be right back to you guys. Alright guys, I got a few things sorted out. As you can see, all the stuff is coming out of the chest. I put everything in here. It'll sit there until I sort it out after the episode. But yeah, essentially, I could use gold pipes to speed this all up and stuff like that, but currently I want it at a slow pace so I can actually see what's going on. I used a list, which, it's just a bit of, here, let me get the recipe here. It's just a bit of paper, some cactus green, and that's the reason I went out to the desert in between episodes, because I did not have any cactus whatsoever. So I went out there, grabbed a cactus, used it, and kind of have a bit more cactus in here. I kind of grew it in between episodes, and I have the cactus here. Essentially, it's going to take the items that I put as, I put stone, cobble, diorite, andesite, and granite, all the basic stones up here in the top chest. So when they get there, they will all sort out there. There's some Looks like some marble, it looks like. Let me grab that from my chest here. Oh, there's none in there. Yeah, let's see where that heads to, because if there's no filter set, I think it just goes to any chest, as far as I know. I put the list here in the blue slot, and that is for ores here. There's a type thing where essentially if it's an ore, it'll basically filter it out into this slot here, which is going to be useful because I'm going to take this chest and put it into like a processing area right here. So let's get... I'm going to go take a quick sleep here so I can get the... make sure no monsters start spawning and blow me up while I'm trying to work. I should really put some torches over there while I'm able to. Yep, I got some achievements. Pipe Dream, which is just placing a pipe, and bring up my chat. The sorting all the things, discover the capabilities of a list. Yeah, so essentially it takes this here, and I honestly don't need multiple lists because when you click it in there, it doesn't take the list. It just kind of uses the list. So I could technically clear this one out and then just use it for a different list, but you know, that's no fun, I suppose. So yeah, let's grab the... It looks like the quartz and the... It looks like all the stuff I did not put a filter on. It is just sitting in the bottom of the chest, which is fine by me. I'll have to get this stuff all in a better sorting system later. I think it's time we can move on to crafting a bit of these IC2 machines, because I need to get a better way of crafting things. There's a few things that you can do better, like the metaformer. Use the metaformer here. It can basically be used to make things like cable and other things that isn't using the cutter, the cutter and the forge hammer, because doing all that stuff manually, it sucks. I don't want to have to do all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get to crafting that thing there. Let's put some of this stuff in here that I'm probably not gonna need. Put this in here. Probably not gonna need my bow and arrows and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get to crafting some of these things here. I was gonna craft some low voltage solar arrays. It's essentially just gives me more EU because this small solar setup, it can work, but if I can take low voltage, which is the same power tier as these, except it gives like 8 times the amount, I'll just replace all these with that. But that could be an in-between episode thing. I won't bore you with all of that micro crafting and stuff like that. So yeah, I crafted a few electronic circuits and machine casing off camera. I'm gonna need at the very least the, I don't know, the what's it called, compressor. The compressor is the easiest one. Essentially, it allows you to take things like small piles of dust. It gives you fluid. It gives you dense plates, which are going to be useful for more heavy machinery. Can make blocks of items and turn certain items into other things. So it'll be pretty useful for us as we continue on. It essentially will allow you to compact things without getting like an actual auto crafter. There is the chunk loader, which I will look at, because if you notice here, if I turn on my F3 and G here, it'll show the chunk borders in the debug menu. I did align this house inside of a single chunk, so essentially I can have my quarry in one chunk, which it's kind of out of a chunk, but it's fine. Essentially, all my processing stuff will be in a single chunk, so it'll reduce the amount of stuff the game has to do, because when you load in and load out of chunks, like if I go out in a different direction and you load it in one of the chunks and processes happening in the other one, it'll sometimes like crap itself and die, so aligning things inside chunks is going to be pretty useful. I didn't do that on my house, mostly because I did not think of doing it. I'm fairly certain it should be pretty fine to do. But yeah, let's grab the compressor here, take some stone and the circuit and a few other things. So let's grab a bit of, I don't know, andesite, I suppose, or granite. Andesite and granite are not the same thing. Who would have thought? So yeah, let's grab a bit of that. And let's get the compressor here. I only want one of them. Alright. So yeah, let's place that there, I suppose. Alright, and it's getting power, so yeah. Essentially, if I take, I don't know, 9 iron. Take 9 iron. It can turn it into an iron block. Let's watch that happen. So yeah, and the compressor will be used later on because I do want to see if I can get into some industrial diamonds, because that is one of the easier way to get diamonds. Well, probably not the easier way. You could probably just mine and stuff like that. But yeah, essentially, yeah, it allows me to compress things. It'll be more useful for plates and stuff like that instead of the blocks, because you could just craft that in your crafting inventory or in the crafting table. So yeah, there's that. You have the block cutting machine, which if you look here, it'll basically give you more logs per planks, and it'll give you plates out of like a block. So if I get one iron block, it'll give me 9 plates instead of having to use the hammer. So I guess crafting it back into a thing would be useful. But that requires, if I can get it over here, the electric motor here, which is not too complicated to craft. It's a little bit of micro crafting. It should be fine. It just takes a bit of copper and a few other things. I'll get that crafted and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright guys, I did a bit of crafting. I got the block cutting machine, which is it takes a blade here. The blade, they have a different hardness and stuff like that. So it goes iron, then steel, and then diamond and stuff like that. I'll put the iron one in here for now. I probably won't need it for everything. I got the metal former, which is really useful. It can give me cables and a few other things that I need for it. Fairly certain if I get to rolling here, it'll do the plate thing. Essentially, it replaces the hammer, the cutter, and the let's get the cutter and see what it does. Yeah, essentially it'll let me not have to use the manual hammer and cutters here. So yeah, there's a bit of power I'm gonna need. They're all filled up. I'm not exactly sure how my bat box is faring, because I don't want to start running everything all at once without knowing it's gonna all not just die immediately. Here. My bat box, it's at full power. Yeah, it should be fine for now. I'll upgrade my power system in between episodes so we can get that stuff all locked and loaded. I think the last thing I'm going to craft is the ore washing plant. That's going to take a lot more crafting stuff. Yeah, and as of just a plan of what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to take the resources I get from my quarry, sort it into this kind of chest thing, take all the actual materials that I can break down, like the dust, like the ores and all that other stuff. So, for example, the copper I'm getting from it, I'll take that, put it in this chest here. I'll take the stuff out of this chest into a washer, or into, I'm not entirely sure how the process goes, because you can do it a few different ways. I think if I use the washer, let's go to the recipe. Yeah, I want to take this stuff, put it into a macerator, and then take that macerator stuff, which will already double it, put it into the washing plant, which will give me it'll give me the ore itself plus a little bit of bonus material here, and it will give me a little bonus. I'll split off that bonus, put it into like a auto crafter or something like that, craft it up in, or put it into, because I know if I can use the tiny dust. Yeah, let's go to recipes. Oh, keep doing it. Recipes here. Essentially, I can use uses. I can compress these down in a compressor into the dust itself, and then I can use that to get the ingot. So essentially, it'll give me a little extra bonus. It'll double and a bit of a half, I suppose. It's more than 2 times ore processing, but it's less than, I think, 3. So it's a bit better than doing it the way I was doing it. It'll take a bit of setup, but yeah, we can get into that in the next episode. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. You guys, I went. I think since every block is a meter, that's 1.7 kilometers is how far I had to travel just to find a desert. If I open my journey map here, yeah, I had to travel. I just picked a direction and ran with it. So yeah, essentially I took all the way up to here. I didn't notice this part because I was too focused on the volcano that I saw. And the volcano seemed to be very abundant and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a lot of exploring I did. along with some other things like that. So, yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of clearing stuff up between episodes. I'm going to try to figure out how to get all this stuff automated, and hopefully next time we can upgrade our power off camera, and I'll do a few other things. Well, yep, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you like it, hit the like button, I guess, and subscribe if you want some more of it. And I will see you guys. Let me get over my little spot here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.